All right. So I just got a couple of requests about my whole ThinkOrSwim setup. So I'm going to go through and explain to you guys everything that I use on ThinkOrSwim. So this could be helpful for you guys if you're wondering what you think you need or what you don't know about ThinkOrSwim or some of the things that are on here that could help you out in your trading. So first off, here on this first screen, I have the Active Trader. So Active Trader is good to get in and out in positions. You can change your share size. To edit your buttons, you have to go to Setup, Application Settings, go to Order Defaults, and then the default quantity of orders is your buttons, and so it's going to be whatever you put and then times 3, and then it's going to add more down the line as well. I forget the one after that. But then the default quantity increment is the plus and minus. So I have it to set to 500. So 500 shares every time I hit plus or minus. Then also I have my default order type to limit order. So it's pretty much going to send a limit order, and this is good for pre-market, so you don't have to go to the order entry window to have that pop up. So I just have a default order type at limit, so it goes through. And then also if I hit buy market or sell market, this market orders. Maximum quantity of orders is unlimited. So also, yeah, it keeps going down the line. So it's 250, 750, 1250, 2500, and 5K. So I only use the first two buttons, so that's why I have it minimized down here, and plus it keeps everything organized as well. I don't like to have the active trader to be non-visible after I hit this button, because sometimes I'm messing with share size. Usually I'll keep it like this, but if I want to change share size, I can quickly either type it in or hit a button. Then I have the time and sales. Time and sales is very useful. I don't use the level 2 because the level 2 on TOS is pretty much the active trader ladder. The active trader ladder is pretty much the vertical form of this level 2. So I don't really like to use the level 2. I think it's easier for me to read with the active trader. I will, though, use the level 2 if there is a decimal stock, or if the spreads are really big, because if the spreads are really big where there's a decimal stock trading in decimals, you won't really be able to read the active trader as well. So that's why I will pull up the level 2 and read the level 2 in those scenarios. But I find best for me, and what I have been using that has been working, is the active trader ladder. And I don't like to have too much things on my chart on my first screen. This is my main screen, so this is the only screen that I look at when I'm trading. So it's pretty much one chart. I just like it real simple, one chart, and this is the screen that I look at to focus on what I'm trading. So I don't want to be looking at anything else. I want to be completely dialed in on one chart. And then also we have the oh yeah, so this one here, you just hit customize, and this is where you can customize this set. But I like to only hit position and average price. I don't like to know what my P&L is intra trade, during the trade, or after the trade. Sometimes I'll hit monitor and I can check my P&L there. But I don't like to monitor my P&L while I'm in the trade, so that's why I took out show P&L or P&L open. So I just have the ask price, the average price, which is the average price that I'm in, and then the position that I'm in as well. So those are the only things that I have there. Now we can go to my other screen. This is my second screen, so which is my first extra monitor. No, this one, okay. This one, let's see if I can get this right. All right, so on this screen here is all the stocks that I have on watch. So I have 6 different charts. So I have on each one just a different stock that I think is interesting on the day. And so usually 6 is a little bit overkill. I really only need like 4 or 5 max. But on my traveling setup, which I will do a video in the future, I only have 3 because I like it real simple and really easy to see. And I have a smaller extra monitor on my travel setup, so that's why I have 3. But on this bigger monitor, I can fit 6 fine. And I like to have 6 because I like to put in some previous runners that have been active previous days, and then also the current day's gappers as well. And that's where I find those, which is from my other screen. I find those on the other screen on this other display, which is my third, technically my third monitor, or my third screen, or my second extra monitor. And this is going to be, I have these hooked, linked to Red, and Red is my main screen. The first screen that I looked at, which is my main screen that I trade on, that stock, that particular stock that I'm currently trading, is linked to these 2 charts, which is going to be the 5-minute chart up here and the daily chart, or the 180-day chart. I kind of flip back and forth because if you're only using the daily chart, you can't see the pre-market levels in that stock. So that's why I have that for the daily levels, and then I'll flip. Like here you could see there's resistance, you could say at 350, but you can't see that on the daily level. Oh no, this one, that was a bad example. This one, 475 to, okay, you can, that's a bad example as well. But yeah, I guess you get what I'm talking about. Is the daily levels don't show the pre-market highs. See, the pre-market high on SSY is 234. This one here says 210. So that's why I like to kind of switch back and forth between the 180-day and the year, so you can also see the pre-market history as well. But yeah, the daily level is very helpful because I get to look at resistance in the past of a stock. And then the 5-minute, also I look at the 5-minute for patterns as well, but I will trade on the 1-minute on my main screen. I don't trade on the 5-minute. I look at the 5-minute and reference that for the entries that I'm going to take on the 1-minute chart. So that is that. Usually on the 5-minute, you look for a 5-minute dip or consolidation, or the front side if it's extended on the 5-minute, or if it still has room to run. So that's very helpful as well. Then I have my news. So I have this also, where did this go? I have this also linked to Red, which is going to be triggered to the main screen, the stock that I'm currently trading, the main focus chart. I linked that to Red as well. So it'll completely change when I switch stock. So let's say I switch a stock, it'll switch to the current stock that I type in. And so that's very helpful as well. So yeah, lots of good stuff there, and you can see the news popping up. And so that's very helpful to quickly look at news when you pop up a stock. A lot of the times you want to get quick access to that news because right when you pull up a stock, it's going to be gapping up pre-market because of a fresh news, and you want to be able to pull up that news really, really quick so you can see why it's moving up, and then you can jump on faster. The last thing you want to do is having it move up and you're spending minutes trying to type it in Google. You're trying to find it in your charts, trying to find the news in the charts, and you get a little bit too slow and you miss the move. So that's why I have that completely linked up on my monitor here so I can quickly pull up the news. And then this window here is my watch list, but I actually changed it to current account positions. And that is because any positions that I'm in is going to show up right here. So that's very useful because it reminds me that I am in a position or I'm not in a position. Sometimes I'll think of holding a position a little bit longer than normal, and then maybe something else catches my eye, so I switch the stock. I want to remember that I'm still in that position that I was in before, and it's going to remind me if it's because it's going to say right up here that I'm in the stock on the current price, and it's anything that's listed here is going to be the stock that I'm currently in. So I don't want to forget that I'm still in a stock. Sometimes people forget that they're still in a stock because they get sidetracked by something else, and they're trying to find the ticker that they're still in. Their P&L is going down, and they completely forget. And sometimes it goes as far as, closing the computer and waking up the next day and forgetting to close a position. And I don't ever want that to happen because these stocks are so volatile and a lot of them pump and dump. So that's why I have this up here in the top left corner to every time I look at it, you just want to make sure that I'm not in the position. A lot of the times the stock will dump and I'll find myself looking over here in panic, making sure that I'm not in that stock. And that I didn't forget. So that's also a really important window for me. Here is my scanner. So right now I have Market Open Scanner. This scans for stocks with volume over 1.1 million, price over 50 cents and under 500 bucks. And with the outstanding shares of under 150 million. And that's going to show me all of that criteria here. I also have another scanner for pre-market. Pre-market scanner is going to scan stocks gapping up. It's going to be stocks gapping up 10% or more with 100,000 shares in volume minimum, and a stock float between 0 and 100 million, or stock outstanding between 0 and 100 million, and a price between 0 and 500. So that's going to produce all of the results down here. And so I switch this back and forth. So pre-market, I have this set up. I do have a video of how to set up your scanners, so I'll link that in the description. But yeah, this is where I'm going to scan for stocks between 7 a.m. and 9:30 a.m. And then when the bell rings, I switch this to Market Open Scanner, and this is where I scan for the stocks at Market Open. The reason I have separate ones is for pre-market. The pre-market, you have to have another study, which is going to be after hours percent change, and that is going to track the gap pre-market. And if you don't have that, you won't be actually tracking anything gapping over in the overnight or in pre-market, and you'll only be looking at gaps when the market opens. So that's important to have. And I think that's everything. So I think that concludes the video. I don't think there's anything else. Yeah, so that's everything, and I'll see you guys on the next video. I hope you guys got some value out of this. If you did, please hit the thumbs up button. Also subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, peace.